Remember we saw that little girl dancing around doing the smarty pants dance, and I was asking her, well, hey, how come a teacher can't come up with an equivalent of a smarty pants dance for my kid? Well, I said it's because there's no competition, there's no incentive to innovate in, educational ideas. So the National Educators Association is the largest teachers union in America, and they have state organizations in every state. We have the Texas Educators Association, the Oklahoma Educators Association. Every school has an Educators Association that's affiliated with the National Educators Association. Their positions don't fall too far from the mothership, okay? The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. So we're talking about competition. Well, is there any incentive? I mean, people don't just do a good job because they love you, okay? You look at the Department of Motor Vehicles. You've got to be there. You've got to pay. You've got to deal with those people. They are the slowest, most unresponsive people in the world. They don't just do a good job just because they love you. People have to be incentivized to do a good job. And the main incentive, what is it? There's nothing to concentrate the mind like the prospect of a hanging or something like that. So you get it good when the best incentive to do a good job is the threat of losing your job or the threat of having your job performed by somebody else. Competition. And the NEA hates competition. It's no surprise that their members don't do a good job of educating our children. So, am I just making this up on the NEA? Am I being unfair to them? Well, let's look at some competitive alternatives to the public education system, and let's see what the NEA official position is about it. Don't let me make up stuff on you. Don't just take my word for it. Don't even take my word for what I'm about to read, but check it out yourself. But I will read you the official NEA position statement on a few different competitive measures. The National Education Association believes that homeschooling programs, an alternative to public schools, okay, they believe that the NEA believes that homeschooling programs based on parental choice cannot provide the student with a comprehensive education experience. When homeschooling occurs, students enrolled must meet all state curricular requirements, including taking and passing of assessments to ensure adequate academic progress. Homeschooling should be limited, of course, we love that language, limited, to the children of the immediate family, with all expenses being borne by the parents or guardians. Instruction should be by persons who are licensed by the appropriate state education licensure agency. In other words, let's bring all the teachers under the umbrella of the NEA. Let's subject all the teachers to the same thing as the NEA. And a curriculum approved by the State Department of Education should be used. The association also believes that homeschool students should not participate in any extracurricular activities in the public schools. The association further believes that local public school systems should have the authority to determine grade placement and/or credits earned toward graduation for students entering or re-entering the public school setting from a homeschool setting. Okay, I don't care about the last couple of sentences. What the first part would do, they would turn homeschools into state-run schools, basically. You would have to be okay, and the further thing is their belief, where they talk about their belief. The NEA believes that homeschooling programs based on parental choice cannot provide the student with a comprehensive education experience. Well, I've got news for you. Harvard and Yale and these guys, they disagree with you, NEA. They disagree with you because they're accepting homeschool students by the bucket loads. But they believe, they have an intrinsic belief that the state does a better job of educating your children than you can, than you have the possibility of. They're not talking about your performance on homeschoolers. They believe that it's impossible. They believe that the homeschooling programs cannot possibly provide a student with a comprehensive education experience. And it's funny, so funny, that the homeschool students are outperforming the public school students who are taught by the members of the NEA. So despite all the evidence to the contrary, they have an intrinsic belief that the homeschooler cannot provide a comprehensive education experience. The students must meet all state curricular requirements, passing state standardized testing. Schooling should be limited to the children of the immediate family, with instruction being provided by people licensed by the state and curriculum provided by the state. Okay, so they want homeschoolers to be state schoolers. NEA's position on charter schools, another alternative to public education. The NEA's state affiliates, remember I was telling you about that, have positions on charter schools that are appropriate to the situation in their states. The NEA's policy sets forth broad parameters. Okay, so for example, they say a charter school, and this is off of NEA.org, a charter school should be granted only if the proposed school intends to offer an education experience that is qualitatively different from what is available in traditional public schools. I wonder if they would subject new public school openings to the same criteria. Should new public schools be required to offer something better than current public schools in order to open new branches? I hardly think they would agree with that. But they want to apply this to charter schools for some reason. Why? Because it is a competitive measure against what the NEA believes in. Local school boards should have the authority to grant or deny charter applications. The process should be open to the public. Applicants should have the right to appeal to a state agency decisions to revoke or deny a charter. So you're going to appeal to the state, the very institution that has set up this public school system. You're going to apply to them to see if you can compete with them. What do you think they're going to say? Okay, but the NEA, as their official position, believes that the applicants should have the right to appeal to the state agency. No other agency, the state agency. And the charter should only be granted under certain circumstances. They should be monitored on a continuing basis and be subject to modification or closure if children or the public interest is at risk. What's the public interest being at risk? They'll define that for you at a later time. Private schools, should not be allowed to convert to public charter schools. And for-profit entities should not be eligible to receive a charter. Heaven forbid that we have people making a profit, doing something good like educating our children. I don't have time to get into all the positions on why these are wrong, but I'm just trying to explain to you off of the NEA's own words how they desire to limit competition. Vouchers. NEA opposes school vouchers because they divert essential resources from public schools to private and religious schools while offering no real choice for the overwhelming majority of students. They oppose vouchers. And it's so funny, they say they divert essential resources. But, if your child's not going to there, why should your money be going there? They want the same money to go there regardless if parents deem their services good enough to keep their children there. Okay, so NEA, limiting competition, and it stifles innovation. And that's why we don't get things like this 2-year-old that I saw. Okay, and we have some, they're doing some legislative grading on measures before our Congress, and they hold official positions on these legislations, what they would like to see the Congress do with it, and I'm just going to run through these right quick. They opposed an amendment to the bill offered by Representative Price, Republican from Georgia, to the Labor Education Appropriations Bill to spend $100 million on Teacher Incentive Fund Merit Pay Program. NEA opposed the program, arguing that limited resources should be directed to proven underfunded programs such as Title I and special education. Opposed Katrina vouchers. Katrina vouchers, opposed. Okay. Adjunct Teacher Corps. I gotta go to another video.